What makes a player a legend? Is it the championships, the trophies, or is it that one shot people never forget? Because throughout billiards history, some players have produced moments so incredible that fans still talk about them decades later. Shots that changed matches, shots that shocked crowds, and shots that helped create legends. Today, we're looking at 7 unforgettable moments from 7 legendary players. And by the end of this video, you'll see why these shots became part of billiards history. Let's begin.
Number 7. Buddy Hall, the shot that looked impossible. Buddy Hall will be our main focus in this moment. The scene starts with Buddy Hall's opponent stepping to the table, getting ready to break. He takes his position, settles in, and delivers a brilliant break. One ball drops, but not the actual one ball. After the break, his opponent pauses and studies the table, thinking about what he can possibly do next. He walks around the table, checks the angles, and looks for the best option. He calmly takes his position and lines up the shot. Then he delivers a smooth stroke. He hits his target ball cleanly, but the goal is not to pocket it. The goal is defense. The shot sends the target ball into a difficult position, hiding it behind the 7 ball and creating a great safety against Buddy Hall. Now all eyes are on Buddy Hall. He doesn't rush. He starts studying the table carefully, looking at every possible route, walks around the table, and analyzes how the cue ball needs to travel just to reach the target ball. For a few moments, it looks like there is no answer. But after taking his time, Buddy Hall finally sees something. Watch this.
Look at this. Wrong. How about that shot? That was a rail first shot.
Unbelievable. The shot has a strong resemblance to Efren Reyes' famous L shot. Buddy Hall finds the angle, escapes the safety, and makes it look easy. And the best part is that he doesn't stop there. With momentum now on his side, Buddy Hall continues dominating the table, pocketing ball after ball until he eventually wins the round. But while Buddy Hall solved the problem with precision, the next legend would answer one with pure creativity.
And so,
Number 6. Ralf Souquet, the 4-rail miracle. In this match between Alcano and Ralf Souquet, our main focus will be Ralf Souquet. The action begins with Alcano stepping to the table and preparing for the break. He settles in, takes one final look, and delivers a powerful break. One ball drops, but not the actual one ball. As the cue ball comes to rest, Alcano notices that his next target isn't exactly easy. He takes his time and studies the layout carefully. For a few moments, it almost looks like he's deciding between attacking and playing safe. He walks around the table, checks the angles, and eventually makes up his mind. Alcano gets down on the shot and carefully lines everything up. When he's satisfied, he delivers the stroke. Watch this.
Safety. Look at that. Look at this. Oh.
A brilliant safety. What a great shot. The crowd couldn't believe how perfectly he had hidden the cue ball. It looked like Ralf Souquet was in serious trouble. Now all eyes are on Ralf. He doesn't rush. He walks around the table and studies the situation carefully. From one angle, then another. It almost looks like he's trying to find a path to the target without committing a foul. For a few moments, it seems impossible, but after taking his time, Ralf finally sees something. He steps into position, gets down on the shot, makes a few final adjustments, and then, watch this.
Pocket. You're kidding. What a shot. Oh! Fantastic.
Unbelievable. The cue ball travels 4 rails and somehow finds the target perfectly. No foul, no mistake. Just pure precision. What a brilliant shot. And if you thought that was incredible, the next legend wasn't just solving problems. He was solving the next problem before it even happened. Number 5. Earl Strickland, the shot before the shot. The scene begins with Shane Van Boening stepping to the table and locking in on the one ball. He takes his position, settles down, and delivers the stroke. The one ball heads toward the pocket, but unfortunately, it comes up just short. It almost drops, but not quite. And because of that miss, the cue ball rolls into a perfect position for Earl Strickland. Earl walks to the table and immediately studies the angle. Seeing no problem with the one ball, he calmly gets down on the shot and pockets it cleanly. From there, Earl begins controlling the rack. Everything looks simple. Ball after ball, he keeps his rhythm and slowly works his way around the table. Then he reaches the 4 ball. At first glance, the shot itself looks easy. The cue ball is lined up perfectly and the pocket is right there waiting. But the real problem isn't the 4 ball, it's the 5. The 5 ball is sitting awkwardly behind the 10 ball, creating a difficult position waiting to happen. Most players would focus only on pocketing the 4, but not Earl. He pauses for a moment and studies the table. He isn't worried about the current shot. He's already thinking about the next one. Earl finally steps into position. He settles down and delivers a smooth stroke. The 4 ball drops easily. Now watch the cue ball.
Hit it perfect. Wow. And he got straight. No.
It curves beautifully, touches the rail, and rolls into perfect position for the 5 ball. Just like that, the problem disappears. With a straight shot waiting for him, Earl simply continues controlling the table as if nothing special had happened. But while Earl was already thinking 2 shots ahead, the next player would be forced to solve one of the toughest safeties imaginable.
And Earl Strickland takes game 1.
Number 4, Shane Van Boening, the answer after the second try. Bustamante starts the rack in control. As he studies the table, he notices that the 1 ball has only one clear path to the pocket. The problem is the 13 ball sitting right on the edge. One small mistake and it could easily fall in as well. Without overthinking it, Bustamante gets down on the shot and delivers the stroke. Both the 1 ball and the 13 ball drop. With the table opening up, Bustamante continues controlling the rack. He pockets the 4 ball, and after a short pause, quickly takes care of the next solid. Everything seems to be going his way. Then he reaches the difficult part. 2 solid balls are sitting next to each other near the pocket, but the cue ball is trapped behind them. There is no easy way to attack. Bustamante walks around the table, studies the situation, and after taking his time, it seems like he has made up his mind. He gets down on the shot and with a soft stroke sends the cue ball right behind the 2 balls, creating a great safety against Shane Van Boening. Now Shane steps in. He studies the table carefully, looking at every possible path. He checks the rails, thinks about the angle, and after a few moments, he decides to go for it. But unfortunately, he misses the target and commits a foul. Now Bustamante has ball in hand. And unbelievably, he decides to do it again. He places the cue ball back in a similar position and with another soft stroke, tightens the safety even more. This time, the trap is even better. The crowd can feel the pressure building. Once again, Shane walks around the table, but this time he's taking even longer. He He studies the rails more carefully, checks every possible route, and slowly, it looks like he's beginning to see something. After taking his time, Shane finally steps into position. He settles down, and then, watch this.
2 rails to it.
He's gonna hit it.
Wow, and he made it. Ball.
Incredible. Not only does he escape the safety, but he hits his target perfectly and pockets it cleanly into the corner. The South Dakota kid had finally found an answer. But long before modern champions were escaping safeties under pressure, another legend was already making the cue ball travel in ways that looked impossible. Number 3. Willie Mosconi, the 5-rail classic. Long before modern pool became popular, Willie Mosconi was already creating shots people still talk about today. In this short clip, Mosconi steps into position, takes one final look, and delivers. Wow, a 5-rail shot. What incredible cue ball control. It even reminds fans of some of the legendary shots we would later see from Efren Reyes. Truly a legend. But while Mosconi represented greatness from another era, the next player brought a completely different style to the table, combining power, confidence, and Filipino fire. Number 2, Francisco Bustamante, the cleanest escape. The action begins with Dominguez controlling the table. He pockets the ball successfully, but the cue ball rolls into a position that isn't exactly what he wanted. He takes a moment to study the layout and quickly decides that attacking isn't the best option. Instead, Dominguez goes for defense. He gets down on the shot and with a slow and accurate stroke, sends the object ball away while hiding the cue ball behind another ball, leaving Francisco Bustamante with no clear path to his target. It was a great safety. Now all eyes are on Bustamante. He doesn't rush. He walks around the table and carefully studies the rails, trying to figure out where the cue ball needs to bounce in order to reach the target. For a few moments, it almost looks impossible, but after taking his time, Bustamante finally sees something. He steps into position, settles down, and then, watch this. What an unbelievable shot. So clean. He delivers a perfect stroke. The cue ball finds the target beautifully, and somehow, the object ball drops in the most brilliant way possible. And speaking of legendary shots, the moment you're about to see next became one of the most iconic shots in billiards history. Before we reveal number 1, if you're enjoying these legendary billiards moments, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more pool stories, iconic shots, and unforgettable players. Now let's talk about the shot that truly made history. Number 1, Efren Reyes, the shot that shocked everyone. And finally, we arrive at the shot that made everyone in the arena jump out of their seats. The action begins after the break, with Efren Reyes taking control of the table. Playing solids against Fedor Gorst's stripes, Efren slowly circles around the table, taking his time and studying every possibility. After a few moments, he finally settles on his first target and pockets it cleanly. But he isn't done planning. Once again, Efren walks around the table and studies the layout. As he locks onto his next shot, he points his cue toward another ball. At first, it almost looks strange. Why point there when that's not even the target? Then he gets down on the shot and delivers a smooth stroke. And suddenly, everything makes sense. The cue ball travels exactly where he pointed, just as he planned. What incredible cue ball control! With momentum on his side, Efren continues dominating the table. He pockets another ball and then follows it up with a beautiful shot on the 4-ball. Everything seems under control. Then comes the 2-ball. Seeing a good opportunity, Efren quickly gets down on the shot and delivers. But, unfortunately, he hits it a little too hard. The ball reaches the pocket, catches the jaws, and refuses to drop. Instead, it stays hanging right on the edge. Now Fedor Gorst steps in. And just like that, the young star starts taking over. Ball after ball, Fedor controls the table with ease. Before long, he is down to just the 8-ball, while Efren still has 2 balls remaining. Fedor studies the layout and attempts a 4-rail shot on the 8-ball. And watch this. He hits it beautifully. But somehow, it misses the pocket. The 8-ball stops near the pocket, and now another problem appears. One of Efren's remaining balls is sitting right beside the 8-ball. One wrong shot, and the 8-ball could accidentally fall in. Now, it's Efren's turn. As he walks to the table, he points his cue toward the 2-ball. It almost looks like that's the shot he's planning. But once again, the magician has something else in mind. Instead of attacking the 2-ball directly, Efren chooses his other ball. He gets down on the shot, delivers a perfect stroke. Unbelievable. His ball travels to the rail and crashes into the 2-ball, sending it into the pocket. The crowd couldn't believe it, but somehow, Efren wasn't finished. He calmly walks around the table, studies the remaining layout, and after a few moments, gets down on the shot once again. Watch this. Another beautiful stroke. Another unbelievable result. The cue ball and object ball dance around the rails perfectly before the final ball drops. What incredible precision. And just like that, Efren finishes off the 8-ball with ease. A legendary finish from the magician himself. No wonder this man is still considered by many to be the greatest player the game has ever seen. And that's it for today's video. 7 players, 7 unforgettable shots, and 7 moments that help turn great players into legends. From Buddy Hall's precision to Ralf Souquet's 4-rail escape, from Willie Mosconi's old-school brilliance to Francisco Bustamante's clean execution, every shot showed a different kind of greatness. But now, I want to hear from you. Which shot was your favorite? And which legendary player should be included in the next video? Comment your answer below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more legendary pool stories and billiards content.